Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Rio is one of the most beautiful cities I've ever been to, and I loved it so much I have been 3 times in the last 3 years for a total of 3 months. One of my favorite things about Rio is that it really is a city that has everything. It has beaches, it has mountains, it has forests. Today I'm going to be going through my top 7 favorite places to get the best views of Rio. 5 of them are actually completely free, so if you are on a shoestring budget, make sure you keep watching till the end. So let's get to it. First place I'm going to talk about is actually one of the new 7 wonders of the world and probably the most iconic image in the whole of Brazil. It's Cristo, or Christ the Redeemer. Personally, I think it's a great 2-in-1 because you get to see one of the new 7 wonders of the world whilst also getting an amazing view of Rio. The only downside is that it's probably one of the most visited tourist attractions in the whole of Brazil. It's not really a tranquil place you can chill with a beer and just like really enjoy the sights because you're constantly like dodging people taking photos and just like huge groups of tourists. My next favorite place where you can get one of the best views in Rio, it is Pão de Açúcar or Sugarloaf Mountain. You go up with 2 cable cars, which I think is pretty cool. It's a different mode of transport. We don't have them here in the UK. You can get some incredible panoramic views as you are going up. And top tip, take a time lapse. It looks pretty cool. The only thing I would say is that the cafes and the restaurants at the top are pretty expensive. Another nice thing about going to Sugarloaf Mountain is that it's next to this really beautiful beach called Praia Vermelha. So it's not as famous as Copacabana or Ipanema, but it's still really nice. They've got loads of stalls selling drinks and food. You can rent a paddleboard. I think in Brazil they call it stand-uppy, which I really liked. Anyway, my favorite place to watch the sunset in Rio is from the Arpoador. Now it's one of the most popular places, but it's popular for a reason. You have this beautiful backdrop of Morro, Dois, Irmãos and Ipanema beach, and like the sun is reflecting into the sea and it's just incredible. I always used to grab an açaí on the way. They have loads of stalls along the promenade selling drinks, açaí, all kinds of things. If there are any Brazilians watching, please leave a comment down below answering this question. Do Brazilians love sunsets? Whenever the sun would like disappear, people start clapping, people start cheering, like people are loving it. So I want to know, why do Brazilians love sunsets so much? And is this a thing that happens everywhere in Brazil? Next up is Mirante, Dona Marta, which is one of the other free viewpoints in Rio. This is somewhere where I would definitely recommend, if you can, trying to go for sunrise or sunset. If you look up photos on Google, it is probably one of the most beautiful things you will ever see. So the final 3 viewpoints I'm going to talk about today are ones that you have to hike to get to the top. Now, if you're feeling adventurous and you want to do something active, this is definitely for you. The easiest hike, and also my favorite, Morro, Dois, Irmãos, and you can spot them because they look like 2 little brother mountains kind of crossed like that. I'm going to insert a photo because I think that's better than me going like this. Once you get to Vidigal, there are a couple ways that you can get to the actual start of the trail. So you can either walk up, which I'm not actually sure how long it takes, but it is quite a steep hill, or you have another option of getting a moto taxi. When you enter, you will see a line of motorbikes or scooters lined up, and it's around 5 reais one way. Both times that I've been there, I have taken the motor taxi, which is probably the funnest way, but not quite the safest. You're probably in good hands, however, it is an adrenaline rush. Now, the time taken to complete this trail depends on how fit you are and how many breaks you want to take along the way, but I would generally say that it takes between 40 minutes to 1 hour each way. There are some really nice viewpoints along the way where you can take a break and a breather and have some water, and where you get some amazing views of Rocinha. If you are trying to avoid the tourist groups and crowds, I would recommend going earlier in the morning or later in the afternoon, and at times you can have the place completely to yourselves, which is such a special experience. Just realize that through the majority of this video, I keep using the same words like incredible, amazing, beautiful. I'm like, this was the most amazing thing I saw. But it's so true. Rio is so incredibly aesthetically pleasing. So every place you go to, you're like, this must be my favorite thing, or this must be the most amazing thing I've seen in my life. Because it's true, all of it is just beautiful. Anyway, back to the video. So the second trail I'm going to talk about, which is a little bit harder than Morro dos Irmãos, but still very much doable, is Pedra Bonita. This hike is really nice to do because it goes through the Tijuca forest, so throughout the whole trail you're surrounded by this amazing vegetation, and then you get to the top and it opens up and you have like a whole panoramic view. I like Pedra Bonita because it's a really flat, wide space, so you have a lot of space to go and sit away from other tourist crowds. So definitely make sure you bring a beer, you bring some food so you can stay up there for as long as you want. We have finally reached number 7, the final viewpoint. Thank you so much if you managed to get this far in the video. This one is 100% got one of the most amazing views of Rio, but it is a struggle to get to. It is one of the more difficult hikes and climbs, and I would only recommend this if you are pretty fit and also kind of brave, because there are some moments where you're literally going up a rock face on an angle like this. There's not much to hold on and grab onto. However, if you're not feeling that confident, you do have the option to book a guide to take you up, and they definitely come with more legitimate equipment. I went with no equipment, whereas they had like ropes, they give you helmets, they give you everything. And I guess they know like the more specific routes to get around, which are easier, and they can support you with that. Top tip for whenever you're going to find a viewpoint in Rio, but especially this one, because it takes 2.5 hours to get up there, make sure you check the weather. When I went, it was quite a foggy day, but that happened a lot in Rio, and like in the morning it was quite foggy and then it would clear up later on in the day. But anyway, 2.5 hours later, we got to the top and we couldn't see anything. Nothing. Absolutely nada. So it was quite funny because we got all the way there and then we couldn't even see this incredible view that everyone had been talking about, all the photos that I'd seen, I was so excited for, and I was like, man, all of that for this? But anyway, when it cleared, it was probably one of the most amazing things I've ever seen in my life. That was my top 7 favorite places to get the best views in Rio. Let me know in the comments section down below which ones were your favorite and which ones you would love to go visit. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. This is actually the first video that I've put up on my channel, so I'd really appreciate it if you could hit that subscribe button and give me a big thumbs up. Do you say thumbs up or like? You say both? Bye. Bye. I don't know how to end my video. Yeah, bye. End it like that. And I'll see you guys in the next video. I've always wanted to do that.